Greetings, Inquisitors. Welcome to week 49 in the rise of Obticeo. I started this account in January of 2022, used the hyperdrive bundle, and I've been updating the account's progress every week so people can follow along. I did normal video updates for a while. Now I'm doing these live stream updates so people can interact and ask questions and talk about the Obticeo account as we go along. So if you have questions, feel free to put them in the channel and chat if you're here. If you're watching this later, feel free to write comments. Always happy to see people's comments, and we'll try to answer everything I can. If you got suggestions for me, I'm always happy to hear that too, and have a little bit of discussion so everybody learns something. All right, so week 49. We made big progress in last week. In week 48, we took the account up to 3.51 million galactic power, which meant in that 3-week period, 2 weeks I was on vacation, and the third week when I came back, put 120,000 on the account for that period of time. So about 40,000 a week, not too bad. Up to 19 relics and 28 zetas, 6 omicrons. We got a squad that's getting us top 200 in squad arena and a fleet that's getting us top 10. We really want top 5, so we're working hard on that Profundity journey. Planning to relic up Dash next week in week 50. Energy plan for next week, we're still working on the IG 2000. Need to finish that up to 7 stars. So that we can get Han's Millennium Falcon also to 7 stars. We're going to want that ship, of course, when we get the Profundity up and running. Working on Vandor Chewbacca, since we got to build Dash Rendar. We're going to build a team over there. We got IG-11 and Cara Dune that I'm working on kind of slowly in the background. I need to get Chupio up and running for the CLS team. And then I've positioned Bindo, Mission and Zalbar, and Bastila all for farming. And again, for now, I'll just be hitting those on the dark side and light side days, so I farm them, a couple times a week. Hard node day, I'll farm them, things like that. And we'll start getting situated for that Jedi Knight Revan journey at some point. Fleet energy, we're taking Mando and B1. Cantina, we're going to be just working on signal data pretty much for the rest of the month, I think. Mods, we're going to get some offense mods. Refresh strategies, trying to get 3 in everything. And then have some for Cantina. I may have to cut back on some of my other refreshes and focus on Cantina, because signal data looks to be the limiting factor for whether or not I'm on track with the journey right now. It's going to be close on the timing. It's going to be very close. Shop plan for next week in the Cantina. We're just feeding the shard shop right now. In the guild store, I've started a strategy in the guild store to warehouse toward 100 on the gear. And I could talk about that a little bit. But basically, when you go into the guild store and you look at the top end, there's a bunch of gear in there like, Mark 9 Biotech, Mark 6 droid callers, Mark 4 Carbantes. So there's just an assortment of different gear up there. And basically, if we're going to be able to gear up characters faster, then we always need to make sure we have at least 100 of everything. And as it gets used up each week, of course, if we're inventorying to 100 and we use 50 of them, then the next time we go in there, we'll see that there's only 50 and we'll restock. So we'll try to stay ahead of the curve with some of this gear. And then for the rest, we're going to be buying Carbantes, stun guns, and stun cuffs. In squad, we'll get prestige. We'll continue to buy prestige in this account for probably another year or so. I mean, just building capital ships at first. You have to spend a lot of your squad on prestige. In order to be in Kyber, technically you need 6 fleets, and outfitting 6 capital ships to be fully functional is about what would that be, 12,000 prestige, and you can buy them 10 at a time, so it's a lot you got to get. You get some from the game, but not nearly enough. In the fleet store, we're buying Rex's ship, we're buying some Zetas, we're feeding the shard shop. Guild event store, we're just focusing on the Negotiator and Hermit Yoda right now. And in the shard shop, we're buying gear 12 purples and golds. We're looking for gear like the comm links and the binoculars. There's also a new slot that gives good gear up top in the shard shop, so we'll be buying Carbantes, stun cuffs, and stun guns there also when they show up. So keep an eye out for premium gear here in the shard shop. Admiral Radis, I'm ready to take him to Relic 8 today. Next week when we get Dash, I don't think I'll be able to build up enough materials to get him all the way to R7 on the 19th. But if we do, then for sure we won't have enough to do that and also Radis. So the week after that, we'll just focus down everything we need to get Radis and to Relic 9 and Dash to Relic 7. And the event's on the 31st, so that'll give us a couple days to finish up if we end up short on one or the other of those characters. But man, that timing is going to be tough, and I feel like I'm probably going to have to give up some of my other crystal refreshes and just focus down on Cantina. Put some extra refreshes over there for the signal data. Otherwise, I don't think I am going to make it. Second tier projects, we got a long list here. CLS, Savage has moved way up the list. At the bottom there, you see we got Kenobi and the Bounty Hunters, and with getting that Chewbacca to 7 stars now, we can hold off on the Bounty Hunter teams. We don't really need that much more work on them. I think we're okay for the fleet side of things. I think even with the fleet we've got now, we've got Bosk geared up a bit, and I think we're good to be able to do the 7-star Han's Millennium Falcon whenever we get the IG 2000 all the way to 7 stars, so we should be good there. So we moved those guys off the list, and Savage came up. Then we got Thrawn we're working on, Padme, Dash, and his team. Probably more priority on Dash and his team now that we're so close to relicking Dash. Still got to work on the Ewoks for 3PO. And then we've got Nest and Jedi Knight Revan down there at the bottom of the list, taking up space. Not getting much work done on them, but, as they move up the list, of course, we'll prioritize working on that stuff. So, second tier project list, I'm keeping in my presentation every week so that I can review it, not lose track of what it is that I'm trying to put gear on. And then when we go through and we do our gearing for the week, I got a better chance of making effective use on it based on prior planning and at least what I was working on, or what I said I was going to work on. So keep that second tier project list. For anybody who's not familiar with it, I always recommend that you think about your account building in 3 separate phases. The first tier is the character that you're currently trying to relic. Don't try to relic 5 different characters at once. Just focus on one character and take them all the way from gear 12 to relic. That's your top tier project. Your second tier project is all the stuff that you're trying to fill in their gear from gear 1 to gear 12 and set them up as future relic projects. And then the third tier is the shards that you're collecting. So what characters you're planning to build for the future where you're still gathering up their shards. So, and some of these second tier projects, like, the Jedi Knight Revan requirements, they're in here both as a third tier project for shard acquisition as well as second tier projects for gearing them up. So when you see second tier, that's what it means. It means these are the guys in the middle that are getting all the gear that's not reserved for relicking characters. All right, that wraps up the status for the account as we start this week's update. Let's check out the chat now and see who's over here hanging out and what we have to catch up on over there. All right, Griff was talking about being excited about the new TB. Nice. This new TB is amazing. A bunch of people wishing me well. I am feeling better. My head's feeling better. I'm not as tired as I was. Still got the cough and still feel like I'm short of breath all the time. So for people with asthma, when you get a respiratory illness, then your asthma kicks in and it's never pleasant. You gotta kind of fight the asthma and illness at the same time. But that part of it's mostly past, so still feeling a little short of breath, but I'm on the mend. We're good. We're getting better. Very tough question for DL. What is your favorite movie? Ooh, I can tell you, in terms of my favorite movie, I have a list of movies that I really like. I like movies that surprise me. Movies that are either better than you thought, or movies that have a legitimate plot twist that's good enough that I don't really figure it out. Fight Club is one of the movies that I to this day I love. The Usual Suspects, I sort of figured out The Usual Suspects, but like all the little details, you can go back and watch that movie 4, 5, 6 times, and every time you watch it, it'll be something new. Fallen, another movie that has a plot twist that's really worthy of a nice shocking moment. So there's some movies like that I really like. The only 2 movies that I've ever spent money on so that I can own and watch them whenever I want on Amazon is Ready Player One and Alita Battle Angel. Those are the 2 movies that I own. So nothing I mentioned was Star Wars, but I would say for various reasons those might be my top 5 favorite movies. Yeah, Star Wars wise, I think the one that I've watched the most is probably the Lego Holiday Special. My daughter loves that, and there's so many cool little funny moments in it. It's ridiculous how good those Lego guys are. They really captured like so much humor in a fun little episode. So yeah, that's probably the Star Wars thing that I've watched the most. All right, moving on. Griff says he likes about the new TB. It's new content. GOTBs were getting too repetitive. Learning fresh modifiers and mechanics makes it interesting. Looking at 9 stars for this first phase. Oh, nice. I'm almost 10 million, so very skewed perspective. Yeah, but still, that's great. That's great. The new TB is not so time consuming. Hey, that's a good point, Beskar Bantito. Yeah, the time consuming part of it's nice. Hey, DL, watched your video earlier. I also don't have extra stun guns and buy them from the shard shop all the time. Yeah, I've definitely, people have said to me before, like, because I always talk about buying the Mark III holo projectors to crush them up, and they're like, oh, you get so many stun guns and all that stuff that you can scavenge them in the scavenger. So, like, I've been waiting for that to happen. Like over here on Obticeo, right? I got 400 Mark V stun guns. Man, I would not dare to touch that. Mark 8 Bio, I've got 500 of those. Man, I wouldn't dare to touch that. Stun cuffs. I mean, I'm still crunching up these Mark III holo projectors because these materials. I'm just scared, man. Once you start clicking the button, these things go away so fast. These Mark V droid callers, if I needed these right now, I'd be willing to knock this down to about 300. I'd be okay with that. But man, these materials, I am so scared to click that button on those materials. So, yeah, Obticeo is still in pretty good shape with regards to some of these materials. You get a big boost with the hyperdrive bundle. It kind of puts you ahead. And as long as you do smart farming and shopping, you keep up with this stuff. I'm still buying Mark IV stun guns. I have 330 of them, and I still make a purchase, every now and then. So yeah, Obticeo's kept up with that. Carbantes are always empty. 29 Carbantes for the week. That's not quite accurate. So I've only got 29 Carbantes, but I've already combined them. I was playing around yesterday, And I've collected up 7 Carbantes worth over this first week with the gear changes. So 7 Carbantes feels pretty good, right? It's almost 350. Ooh, it's a lot of Carbantes, right? An influx, an inflow of Carbantes. Feeling good. I'm looking at the end of January for my alt Profundity journey. Character shards, signal data, and relic materials with 5 days to spare, says Vels. Woo! Yeah, that's calculated out close. Vels and Nuke both say hello. Hey, guys. Graham Case is here. Hey, DL, I saw your update. Getting stuck on stun guns and Mark 8 eyeballs. Weird the bottlenecks that are exposed as the gear is rolled out. Well, those are the things that have always been bottlenecks. I mean, if you go back to my gear video that I made like 2 years ago, it's the same gear. It's the Carbantes, the stun guns, the stun cuffs, the Mark 8 bio, the Mark 4 comm links. I mean, those have always been the gear. But when the extra stuff came out in the daily events, then you're in a position where you're pretty much just so far behind on Carbantes that you never catch up. So that's what's funny to me is like as soon as you catch up on Carbantes, it goes straight back to the situation 2 years ago where it's just all the same gear being the problem again, at least for me. So yeah, it's interesting. It's not really anything new. It's just back to the same old. Congrats on 5K subs, by the way. I'm not sure when that happened. Oh, it happened a while ago. We did a bunch of giveaways, lol. I hope you didn't miss out on the giveaways. All right. Sean Unbelievable says, hopefully next time for Profundity if I get the signal data. That's cool. Daniel Bazin said, just hopped on. I might have missed it, so sorry if you already talked about it. How effective is Savage low gear Omicron? I don't have him really up and running very well yet. On the Loquitur account, he's... what's my Savage on Loquitur? He's gear 10. He's gear 10, and I haven't really had the opportunity because all the teams have been too big. And then I don't have him... I don't have him Omicroned yet over here. So... I haven't really been able to test him out like I was hoping I would. Where's the Savage here? Yeah, we haven't built him up yet. He's only 5 stars even. So, not much testing done yet. All right. I feel like my Padme team doesn't work. I don't get nearly as much protection up as the Padme teams that I have to fight. Well, the protection up is based on health. I don't know if you know that, lol, but if you feel like you're not getting enough protection up, maybe you just didn't put enough health on the characters. You have to increase their health in order to get more protection up. It's a weird thing. All right. I got Piet to Relic today, says Andrew Thetford. Oh, that's awesome. Piet's such a good character. Juan Sanchez is here. What's up? Not much, hanging out. Zurin says this new platoon system will be a major problem once guild members are assigned specific relics, and then we just quit or move to other guilds. Your thought, DL? I think the platoon system... why do you say that? Because of the requirements on the characters in order to be put in platoons are going to ruin your teams? Is that what you're thinking? Like you'll get assigned to put your Kenobi there and then people will get all mad and be like, I ain't putting my Kenobi in. What's the requirement here? Character doesn't meet the relic requirement. Please upgrade to Relic 5. So just for people's reference, if you haven't seen it, in the first phase, in order to place the characters here, they need to be Relic 5. Yeah, your guild's going to come in and say, okay, you're assigned to build a Relic 5 000. You're going to have to Relic 5 000. I don't know. I mean, if my guild told me, hey, you're going to be in charge of the Tuscan, Relic 5 that Tuscan, I'd be like, nah, all right. Relic the Tuscan, what you going to do? What you going to do? No, I don't think people will have too much of a problem with it. I think if your guild wants you to build that, build something, yeah, I think people will probably do it. Yeah. What I would hope that people wouldn't do is like, oh, well, you've already got, a Relic 5 of that character, so go ahead and stick it in there. And then you're like, you got to give up your Wat Tambor when your best team is Sith Eternal Emperor. That would suck. You got a fully functional Malevolence fleet, and you have to put in this ship. It'll be rough. So, I think if your guild is smart, Ugnaught, holy cow, Relic 5 Ugnaught. Yeah. I mean, if I just had to relic one crappy character for the guild just to do it, I would do it. I would be fine with that. If they wanted to make me relic, 6 or 7 different characters, nah, I don't think. I think that would be rough. But if you're at 10 million, I mean, you don't care anyway. Taking a character up to Relic 5 won't be that big of a deal because you'll be working on building a bunch of characters to Relic 9 anyway. Nope, I don't think it'll be too much of a problem, Zoran. I think if your guild is smart and they just assign you 1 or 2 characters to build, it shouldn't be too big of a problem. I'm at 7.4 million, have JMK, and just got Cat today. But I've got mixed opinions on her best gear set. In your opinion, what's better? Speed and health or offense and health? Speed. It used to be more important than it is now, but you don't want her going too slow. Basically, in the mirror match against other Kenobis, there can be matchups where it's really important that your cat would go first. Most people now either just take out the Kenobi and kill the cat on the opposing team against the AI. It's not too bad. Or, if you got C-3PO in your team, you can pretty easily get around a cat and, use the execute on her. But having her fast is usually better than having her high offense. Yeah, getting more turns with her is usually better. And it's better if you want to try to do like the Sith, the Rancor raid trick with the Kenobi team and stuff like that. I think speed is what's really important there. Try to get her up around 330, 340. She doesn't have to be insane speed. You don't have to get her to like 360 like some people have got her. But, even 320. You just want to be able to go faster than some characters like Thrawn and some other stuff like that. If the opponent has a 318 Thrawn, you don't want to be slower than that. Because then they have some options to sort your team out with things that shouldn't beat a Kenobi team. And especially if you're going to use it on defense, you don't want people to be able to use jank against you on defense because your cat's too slow. My opinion, other people in the chat can give their advice too. I'm so curious about RP1 and Alia made you want to buy them. Oh, what did I miss? I'm so curious about RP1 and Alia made you want to buy. Oh, the Ready Player One and Alita. Oh, so Graham Case. Ready Player One is just. I actually talked to some people about 3D internet a long time ago. A friend of mine was a computer developer, and I was trying to sell him on the idea of creating a virtual store that you could actually walk through, and of course it's a good idea, but I never got any traction with it, and it never went anywhere. I didn't do anything with it. So when Ready Player One came out, and it's just like it's an animated version of being able to have a 3D walkthrough that's like virtual reality. I'm extremely attracted to that concept, like that idea of technology. If there's a risk that technology comes out in the future and somebody like plugs themselves in and starves to death because they forget to unplug and go eat, like that would be me. I would go down the rabbit hole, and I'd be in there like doing something for days and forget to sleep. Like I could see myself like getting lost in it. So just the concept of Ready Player One, I think, is just fascinating, and the fact that they animated it, and that's where the world's going. I mean, it's not far away. Heck, they've already got some kind of mesh implant that they can put inside the vein in your brain and transmit transmit data signals into your brain directly through the blood vessels. So the amount of time that we have before, we all have an internet connection inside of our brain is not far in the future. It's not far. The prediction for the singularity is what, 2045, something like that. The point at which the speed of learning passes what we can imagine. So basically, where AI is developing and thinking of things faster than we can ask them what to think of. It's hard to explain. But yeah, so Ready Player One is just, it's a cool concept. And Alita, again, it's the same thing. It's the Avatar. It's the technology that they used to make the Avatar movie, brought to the screen in a way that I thought was just integrated incredibly well. Good story, good characters, incredible animation. Yeah, I was fascinated by it. Love it. Still love it. I'd watch it again tonight. All right. Man, Alita was one of the movies I hope they'll continue. I know, Eris. I would like 7 more. Yeah, be funny. Or even better, make a TV series. Yeah. Well, they made an Avatar 2 movie, so at least they're still developing that technology in some way. Watched your long gear video, informative. Surprised what I did wrong before. Nice, Antler Killer. That's cool. I'm glad you got something out of that. Beskar says top 3 movies: Braveheart, Forrest Gump, and Inception. Forrest Gump's another good movie. Forrest Gump's fantastic. Inception is good. Inception goes in that category of good, but it doesn't push up to favorites. Forrest Gump might be one of the top, somewhere in the top bracket. That movie's got some really cool twists in it too. Man, the part I love in that movie the most, it's the weirdest things get me, right? Like there's this one point where he has to go see the president, and he's already seen like 2 other presidents, and he says, I have to go see the president again. Like it's just boring to go see the president of the United States. I don't know why, but I love that part, that little piece out of the movie. It's fantastic. All right. Andrew Thetford says, if you didn't buy Hyperdrive bundle, how many relics should you have at the year mark? Go back and look at the Loquitur account. I don't know exactly, but I feel like I had something like, let's say, 21 relics or something like that at a year. So if you didn't buy Hyperdrive bundle, assume 3 months, and then assume a relic every 2 weeks as a good rate. You don't get that right at first. So 9 months times 2 is 18. So at least 18 relics. You want at least 18 relics by a year if you're free to play. How did you do in Conquest? Box 5 on Loquitur and box 6 on Obticeo. Just deploying can get 300 million guild, 18 stars, comparable to a GOTB. Yeah, they actually made this pretty tolerable. It's interesting. I think the big thing on this is going to be the special rewards, how hard it is to get into the special missions. That's going to, I think, determine a lot about what people go for. It'll come down to each guild member building 1 or 2 useless characters if they're organized. Yeah, exactly, Tyler. That's it. That's it. It should come down to everybody having to build 1 or 2 useless characters. But that'll be paying the dues. It'll be just like building a Geo team used to be, or building a clone team. You know, just somebody will be like, "Yeah, you can come to the guild." Seriously, that'll be like a guild offer thing, right? You'll be like, "Hey, I want to join this 300 million guild. Your account's a little weak for joining our guild, but if you're willing to be the one that puts a Relic 5 on an Ugnaught and a Relic 7 on a Bodhi Rook, you can join." Okay, I'll build that garbage. Sign me up. Yep, I think that's what it's going to be. It's going to be bait for getting people into the guild. At least the Tuscan goes into the Tuscan Omicron team. Yeah. Lol says I might just leave if I have to do Ugnaught. Yeah, you'd find a use for him somewhere. I'm super excited. One of the missions actually said Wookiees. Need the Wookiee faction with a good Wookiee leader. You could play like all Chewbacca's. What is there? Chewbacca and Zalbar, Chrysanthemum. That's it, right? Yeah. You can get a Wookiee team somehow. Finally got Cat today after the newest Proving Ground. Felt like forever. Nice, Wilson. Proving Ground? Oh my God, did I miss the Proving Ground? Oh no, I didn't. Holy cow. Whew. I thought I missed it. It's today. I just haven't done it yet. Panic Attack. Going to Loquitur account. Didn't see that earlier. Oof, that must have come in after the reset. Yeah, it probably came in after the reset or something. Anyway, okay. Proving Ground done. My brother was dating a girl named Jenny. She ended up hating me more than she did him when they broke up. Jenny. That's funny. Ready Player One is an odd movie to me because it's Spielberg, which just seems random. All right, I got to quit chatting with the chat. We got to get over here and build some accounts. All right, let's get into Obticeo here. We're going to hit this Radis with a Relic 8 because we said we were going to. We farmed up the signal data. That's what we're doing. Let's click this upgrade button. 1, 2, ready. Ugh. So much stuff. All right, he got his squid badge ranked up. So we still need more for his Relic 9. We still need more of these keypads too. So I can't even farm the stuff for those keypads until I finish farming the stuff for Dash. Got to get Dash Relic first, and then the week after that we'll farm up these keypads. All right, so that's to Relic 8. One more level to go on Radis. All right. Dash is very close. 8 pieces away. He missed a relic this week by 8 parts. That's pretty sad. Pretty small margin of error. All right, so Kenobi was on our list. CLS team is on our list. So let's go to CLS. I did manage to get a couple of these bought up. 108 of these data pads. Farmed a few of them. Bought a few of them out of the shops. So we need a ton of these for everything on our Rebel teams. So CLS seems like the best place to put that first. And we can get him gear 12 right now. So I don't know what would stop us from clicking this button. That's not even a real Carbonti. This is no problem. Okay, so let's go. All right, gear 12 on the CLS for this account. Yay. Let's try to get Chewie and 3PO a little better. Get a star on them. And he's going to take a stun gun here. That's a Mark III. This is all stuff we can afford. So we'll do that. That's a Mark IV, and we've got 2 of them, and I think he takes 2 of them. So, ooh, we can't do that. I don't think we can afford the Kairos. Well, yeah, because Dash has his locked in already, right? We've got the 2 built for Dash, and we still have 102 left over, so we can afford this. That's a big commitment. Who else needs these? Trooper? Well, you know what? It's what's on the menu, right? It's what we're working on, so let's do it. All right, so there we go. Go back to Chewbacca. Upgrade him. That'll be our other set of keypads for the week. And then he needs the same Mark IV and more keypads. So we wouldn't have been able to gear 12 him anyway. We'll work on more of those keypads for next week. Guys, that felt like a lot of progress. That felt like quite a bit of progress over here. R2's not really on the menu, but we got some extra Carbontis. We'll come back to him. All right, so we worked on the CLS team. Let's go back to the list and remind ourselves what we're working on. Savage and Thrawn. Since I don't even have Savage starred up yet, I think we're going to take a look at Thrawn next. So a couple Carbontis here. We got 5 of them. We're going to eat up 2 of them here. Okay. This will take a stun gun and also another Carbonti, so we'll eat up 2 more of them here. That's not a stun gun. That is a Mark III. All right, we'll give that to him. All right. And then to further commit to Thrawn, you know what? Let's hold off on that. Let's leave Thrawn there. What does any of this gear give me? Speed, strength. Yeah, we can just lock this in. This is easy too. No problem. We can lock that in. This one, we can lock that in. No speed. Nothing here gives us speed. Yuck. 231. So we did like 2 upgrades to him, and we didn't even get like any speed at all. All right, let's filter this down to 5.mods, and we'll sort it by speed. And let's just do what we can to speed Thrawn up here. Only unassigned. Okay. 8 speed. So we have to have speed here. 10 protection. Don't care. We'll use it. Down here, 12 speed's better than 5. Okay. 6 speed, 5 speed. Man, we need something with speed right here, but Wow, this slot, we're in bad shape. All right, let's see if anybody has a good speed mod right here that we could feel good about stealing. Ahsoka. Jyn Erso. You got an Ewok that has 10 speed. It's not great. Padme. We're going to steal this Padme mod. We're going to steal that so that hopefully we can get something a little faster down here. Maybe we'll just use this because it's got 18 speed. Fine. Enhance. So this is an example where I really don't care what the offset is. Like I'm not trying to build an offset at all. I don't care. Normally I would not slice a 12 speed mod with 3 rolls on 12 speed, but this is on a character that can't use 6 dot mods. So we're going to try it. We fail. 10 speed here. We're not going to invest in that. Okay, so that speeds us up to 267. And again, the whole idea behind this, the speed of Thrawn determines how fast we can go with our Mara Jade team. So we just want to get Thrawn fast enough that he can pass a turn over to Mara Jade, and we can use the Palpatine Mara Jade team to beat up opponents with bad mods. That's the whole point of building Thrawn. It's not that I need his ship or need him for anything else specifically. I just need whatever his speed is determines the usefulness of the Mara Jade team. And if we can use that team without using Vader, that gives us, a team that we can, gives us Vader to use somewhere else, which is important. Okay, let's take a look here. What do we have that we can stick in here? Has to be a speed mod, I guess. Oof. Well, maybe it doesn't have to be a speed mod. We got this one that's 9 speed. Padme's in pretty rough shape anyway. She's kind of been left out in the cold. I'll just put garbage on her for now. Don't care. Aren't building her yet. I feel like we're going to have to build that team for Conquest. So as I get close to 4 million, I will need to invest in Padme more than I am now. Okay, so Thrawn's remodded. Now let's, our other priority was on Savage. So let's get that project started here. Take him up to 85. We got 50 million in the bank, so let's go ahead and take him up. We'll work on his gear. I think we still have 1 Carbonti left, right? Takes a stun cuff. Okay, that's not a stun cuff. That's easy gear. That's easy. That's no problem. That's a gear upgrade he can take. All right, here we've got 1 Carbonti, and we need 2. So that's where he'll be stuck for the week, gear 8. I don't think we can commit an Omicron to him yet. I don't think he's got enough damage to... I mean, at gear 8, he's not going to kill anything, right? Let's see, we can go ahead and add that. Okay, 15% tenacity and defense, so 60. I mean, that helps him when he's solo, right? So the extra tenacity helps him if he's solo. Fine, we'll take it. Okay, so this is the Zeta. And then this is the Omicron here. Winning Grand Arenas, gain 50% of all that stuff, 30 speed, resilient defense, things, stuff, and junk. I do have enough Omicrons, though, huh? Man, I really wanted to play around with this Radis team and put an Omicron on Cassian or something. Maybe I have to put that on the shelf and wait. We'll see how Savage develops over the next couple weeks. If Savage gets leveled up, we'll put the Omicron on him. Oh, I was just bad-mouthing Padme. She's next on the list. She's next on the list. But I think I'm really going to work on Dash. I'm going to try to get a level for L3 or Vandor Chewbacca first. Vandor has to stay alive. If we want the Dash Rendar team to work, then Vandor Chewbacca has to stay alive. I know I've built that team somewhere. What the heck happened to my Dash Rendar team? Where is he? Huh. Well, okay then. All right, well. You know what, for now, I think what I'm going to do, we're just going to use him on offense and basically going to use Vandor and L3. Run this as a 3-person crew. Okay, we'll use that as a 3-man team. Oh, Vandor really needs help. Oh my goodness. He is pathetic. We're just going to click the button on him until the upgrades stop. Okay, so here we need the Carbantes and a detonator. All right. So he's at gear 9 now. We're going to do that because we might need some more damage off his basic. Okay. And then L3, I think, is also a Carbante stun gun. Yeah, see, we're down to 307 stun guns. So we used what? Did we have 500 of those at the start? So we used 200 stun guns, four stun guns worth with 7 Carbantes. All right, but hey, I mean, the progress that we made on that Rebel team was pretty fantastic. We really gave that CLS team a boost. That's looking decent now. Decent. Getting Commander Luke up to gear 12 looks good. I want to see if I can lock down these pieces. Why not, right? I mean, we've got him. Let's give him, some more stuff. We know we're going to relic him someday. He's one of those characters that just benefits from that little extra. Okay, Grandmaster Yoda. 79 of these. Also needed by Mace Windu. We're gonna hit him with an upgrade on the way by. Would not be bad to have a little more sauce on the Yoda. All right, let's go back out to characters, see if anybody else has just got a bunch of green pluses lit up saying, hey, come in here and level me up. Sam. Let's see. Man, Vandor's close. He just needs those detonators, huh? I'll get those for next week. Newt Gunray. Is that an upgrade? That's the piece. I would rather upgrade Mara Jade if I could, but I can't. Why have I not promoted her? Did you guys see that? Mara Jade is promotable. I gotta find her. Where'd she go? Where did she go? I must have got... it's probably because I got some of her with that free event, right? Alright. Where is she? All the way up top? There we go. There she is. Hand out the promotions. Okay. Good. Who else can we promote? I missed that on the way by the first time. Who else? Who else needs a star? That's the leftovers of the Boston accent. Star. Put some stars in these characters. Alright, I think that's it. I think that's the whole show for the characters. You know what? I'm going to trust that we can get enough of these to do what we need to do next week. I'm going to click it. Newt gets upgraded. He's just so good in 3v3. Even with garbage gear, he's still a threat. Never underestimate the Newts. Okay. Go catch up on chat here for a second. All right. Oof. Let's see where was I? The Riva unlocks will take a while. Yeah. I don't know. I hope she's good, but I hope that she's not too good. If she's like Malgus level, I think that would be appropriate. You know, something that really fundamentally boosts up the Inquisitors and makes them worthwhile, but not something that's like, you know, Galactic Legend level busted. I don't think she will be. She's not a GL, so I can't imagine that she'll be that good. But I tell you, those Conquest Inquisitors, they know what's up. They hit me for a ton. What's your plan for Proving Grounds on Obticeo? To try to build a CLS team that's good enough to beat Proving Grounds. So a CLS team with good mods is pretty effective for most things. And if I can't beat Proving Grounds with CLS, then I'll have a Jedi Knight Luke team that I'm building up behind that. So that'll be my next attempt at Proving Grounds. And if not that, then I'll get Jedi Master Luke and we'll close out the Proving Grounds that way. But I think a CLS team with the right kind of mods, and if I have to Relic 9 CLS, I will. I don't care. But basically, the more stats you put on CLS, the more you share with Chupio, and the rest of the team gets bigger and better. And there has to be a tipping point where the CLS team can do Proving Grounds. And maybe somebody can tell me what's going on. A new path coming in, path of the Misfits. My guild's TB officer, and we've seen people be way more receptive to relicking garbage than I expected, as long as it helps the guild. Again, I think if it's just one or two things, each person has their one or two things that they have to do to get in the barrel, they will. But if one person is like, oh, you're our weakest player, so you got to relic, all 5 of these. Well, if you tell your weakest player to relic a whole bunch of garbage that's going to make his account no better than it was, that's when people will just be like, well, screw you. That's what I would say. If somebody looked at my Obticeo account and was like, oh, you're the weak link, you need to build these 5 things so that nobody else has to, that's where I would be like, nope, that's not fair. Executor shall be mined in 3 days. Nice. Had someone relic Ugnaught in 3 days notice. Got us a bonus 20 million in TP. Nice. Why run for Profundity with such a small account? You're crippling yourself real hard. Why? Why am I crippling myself? Interested to know why you think that. So in the Obticeo shard, everybody went for Executors. I got pushed out of the top 5. I need to be top 5 in fleet. If you want to talk about account building efficiency, you can build anything you want for Grand Arena or Galactic Challenges or anything else, and you will not get as much effective use out of that as you do out of placing top 5 in fleet. There is no thing in the game that gets you more income for account building and than getting the currency in both fleet currency and crystals that you get from Fleet Arena. Placing top 5 in the Fleet Arena is the top priority for the account. We've got 8 Executors in there already, so I have to build the Profundity and beat the Executors. It's that simple. Obticeo is acquiring mass very quickly. Yeah, it's crazy how fast the GP is building up in this account. To be fair, I'm trying to build up the GP. Like, I am trying to push to 4 million GP. So I'm inflating characters. I'm building all kinds of stuff. I'm unlocking everything. I'm putting characters at level 40 and, building ships and just fattening up with all the GP that I can have the credits to afford. So to be fair, we are we're pushing the fatness as much as we can, as much as the credits allow. Life begins at 4 million. All right, so we got a couple ships up to 7 stars. Cassian's U-Wing, Houndstooth here. Xanadu Blood, I think we're in good shape for now. IG 2000, I think we'll finish that. If not in the next week, then soon after. So we'll have that ship finished before we get Profundity, so we should be able to get a 7-star Millennium Falcon before Profundity. We got these characters both at least gear 12. We can get them started on their relic levels after the Profundity journey's done. I think it's coming together quite nicely. But yeah, I mean, I don't feel like it's crippling my account because I stalled out on the character side of things, right? So you get the clone team, and that's the best team that I got. And if I would have instead worked on building a stronger team like CLS or Darth Revan or something like that, then I'd be better on the character side of things for GAC. But I still got the Radis team. I'm still going to get this Dash Rendar team out of the Profundity journey. So I don't know. I really like it. I think it's honestly, and I don't know if you've watched my stuff before, Mylore Gaming, but the what I would recommend for every single new account is to do either Executor or Profundity first. Yep. How high are you planning on taking the other journey pilots, Wedge, Biggs, K2? Well, if I go for Jedi Master Luke, then I'll take them to the appropriate relic level first. For me, I've never really had a problem taking things to relic 5. So a lot of the stuff that should end up at relic 3, for me, ends up at relic 5 because I don't perceive it as too much difficulty going from 3 to 5. And that makes things qualified for the Rancor C-Pit and stuff like that. So probably as I start relicking those characters, they'll most likely end up at relic 5. CLS is one of my favorite squads. They put in so much work. Nice. What's the reason for building Thrawn right now? I think I explained it. It's just all about making use of the Mara Jade team because you can. You don't have to have anything special. You just have this garbage Mara Jade. I mean, literally, look at this team. Do I have the Mara Jade team built somewhere where I can grab it? Maybe not, but look at the quality of this team, okay? If I were to play the full Mara Jade team right now, it would look like this, okay? 62,000 galactic power, and this team looks like hot trash. I mean, gear 11, gear 9, gear 8, garbage team. I'm telling you right now, this team right here can beat a full relic bounty hunter team. It can beat 120,000 galactic power relic level teams. All you have to do is have this guy go first. If this guy is faster than the other team, you just hand the turn to Mara Jade. She goes, and the other team never gets another turn. And even if you play for 5 minutes, if you play it right, they will never get a turn. This team is so free. It is so free. All you got to do is make Thrawn fast. His speed determines the effectiveness of this team. And right now, I can't really use the team because I don't have Thrawn fast enough. So we build up Thrawn, we get him to 310 speed, and then anybody that's not 310 speed, we just go in there and mow them down. It's silly. It's silly how good the team works. All right, you think balancing a dark side heavy roster should still be a priority, or Jabba all the way? I still think balance is good. I think balance is good. And with the new TB, it looks like balance is still good. Build the Geos and Troopers on the dark side because they're good and they're cheap and they're easy to do. Build stuff for the light side. If you build Jabba as a GL, then build Kenobi, or JML and Jabba have a lot of the same requirements, so that's a pair. You just build Jabba and follow it up with Jedi Master Luke, and just kind of balance your account out that way. Get the Executor and get the Profundity at some point. Honestly, I think 2 GLs and 1 big fleet, and then you've really got a lot of time to do whatever you want. If you've got, let's say you built Jabba and Jedi Master Luke and either of the fleets, then you can build Revans, Malak, Gas. You can build up a bunch of the let's say non-GL meta teams and kind of flesh your account out. Or you can just continue to build more Galactic Legends. But yeah, that's what I found on my Loquitur account. Like, once you get 2 GLs in your first big fleet, you're pretty good in Grand Arena. You can get all the way up to Kyber with that. So then how you want to build your account from there, you just have all kinds of fun with it. CLS works on everything except the Maul tier. Interesting. Doesn't work on the Maul tier, huh? Your Watt is spitting distance from 7 stars. Yeah. I've got a couple characters in here that are like, what's Watt at like 98 of 100? And I think Cody or something is like at 99 of 100. And I don't know how many weeks I've had to look at Cody in the fleet store, and he's 99 out of 100. And man, the temptation to just click that button and make a purchase out of the fleet shop and just close him out and just stop looking at 99. Yeah, I just don't care that much. But yeah, the OCD, it's kind of like, oh, gotta do it. Padme got me 3 stars on everything, says Vels. Nice. So Padme in Proving Grounds. Sean Unavailable says your income from Profundity is your top reward. Yeah, that's right. The income is the reward. If you increase from level 40 to 50, the added storage for your mods increases your GP. Yeah, but then, yeah, I mean, that's fair. You could just put mods on instead of selling them. Yeah. So can you actually beat normal conquest yet? Oh yeah. Yeah. I've beaten normal conquest like I would say the past 3 rounds. I think we're in the second round of this version of conquest, right? We still have one more to go. So yeah, I think I beat the last round of the last conquest, and I've gone all the way to the end on this conquest twice. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we've got conquest beaten. We're ready to go to hard. Guys, if you go from normal to hard and you can only get box 2 on hard, you've still done better than you can for all of normal. So anybody who can get into hard conquest should be doing hard conquest. Absolutely. I put dash on me with bounty hunter requirements for executor and the damage immunity datacron to hold me over. Dash on me with bounty hunter Rex for the executor. Interesting. And just use the damage immunity datacron. That's cool. CLS is not even close on the mall tier. It's infuriating watching my CLS team get smoked by Phoenix. From what I hear, Padme works on all tiers. Padme is just... It's such a workhorse team. The thing about the Padme that differentiates it from most other teams, the Padme team can take a hit. You know? Like there's the troopers, for example. The troopers just annihilate stuff. But if you can't go first, man, just a couple... if the opposing team gets to take a couple turns, just like kill 2 of your troopers and you lose. Yeah. There's a lot of teams that are like that. They're really good teams, but they can't take a hit. Padme team can really take a hit, you know. That's what I like about the Padme team. And like I said, the flexibility for the Padme team, just you go into Grand Arena, you take the Padme team, you put Qui-Gon Jinn in front of it, and you've got a defense that most low-level or bad-playing opponents can't sort out. It worked for me, guys. So you guys know that I've been carrying my Qui-Gon team on offense for the longest time. And so we signed up for Grand Arena. I thought we could still review it. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. All right, well, we signed up for Grand Arena. Oopsie. I think we were done anyway, though, right? I mean, we had... I don't think there was much more we were going to do. Ships was done. We do still need to spend maybe some ship omegas, right? So let's... what's this? Oh, man. The omega on the basic is probably better than 50% chance to call another. Yeah, this is probably even better than this. 14 out of 15. We're almost there. But yeah, I think that's it for the updates. Check mods and make sure I didn't lock in with mods missing everywhere. I like that they give you an update button now, so if you lock in incorrectly, you do have the opportunity to go back in there and re-click. How long does it take to do that? Does it take some time, or like as soon as you change something, does make that option available. This Farm Boy Luke, you know, can't be missing a mod on our Farm Boy Luke. Lols. I still have some of these characters modded from starting. After the hyperdrive, you got no mods. So I still have a bunch of characters that I have badly modded, like with level 12 mods and whatnot. It's pretty funny. We don't have anything that goes here. Oof. Definitely need to farm some speed mods. All right, let's go check and see if we can update that. For anybody who hasn't seen that before. Yeah, see? There it is. Resave roster. So if you make some changes, you can go into your Grand Arena if you're before the lock-in period and relock it. All right. Join a raid. And then we'll go lock in on the Loquitur account before I forget. And I got to remember to do my Beskar mods. Beskar mods before lock-in. I also need to check the timing on my bounty hunter team. I'm going to use that. Here's my Conquest rewards, 396 key cards. Box 6. That's good enough. 1 there. And got 2nd place in my pod. That's nice. Can always use the extra gear. Slicing materials. Crystals are nice. 2-in-1 is ideal for me. I like placing 2-in-1. Did pretty well on this challenge today too. I messed around this morning with it, and we went all the way to 10. And the team that I used was, I'll show you how I did this. So, just in case some people with like an early game account or something like that want to have a chance doing what I did, I used a Vader lead, I used my troopers, and then I put in Shock T. So with Gideon reducing their damage with Demoralize, it kept the damage low enough, and then Vader, this is really a messed up challenge because you can't assist and you can't like do attacks on a turn until you get rid of that debuff. But Vader, when he's in Merciless Massacre, every time he takes a turn, does a special, he gets rid of one of those stacks. So the battle took me a long time to sort out like this, but with a really weak team, I was able to, well, relatively weak. I mean, it's relic characters and whatnot, but this is really probably not a team that you would put together for Grand Arena or something. But Vader worked himself out of that so Piet could call him to assist. And then once I got that train rolling, Piet just kept him demoralized. And I completed the light and dark side, no tanks, and won the battle. So, pretty good score. Box 8. I don't have a good enough first order team to get to box 9. So, I tried it. Couldn't get it. Gave up. Alright, let's lock in the Loquitur account while I'm here thinking about it. Gotta go to Beskar Mando. Gotta load a mod set onto him. Assign a loadout of this. Okay. Then we can go lock in. Sign up for Grand Arena over here. And then we got to go in here and remove. All right. Good. We are locked in for Grand Arena on the Loquitur account. Nice. I lost my last round on Loquitur, didn't I? No change. Yeah, we lost. The opponent was able to kill us nicely. Rank 6. Pretty bad. What you gonna do? All right. Any other question, guys? We'll check over here on chat. 2 GLs plus a mega fleet used to get you Kyber. I've been in Kyber 3 for 2 months with that. But I've gone 0-3 this round, and I'm close to dropping to Kyber 5. I just can't handle all the 7 GLs with the 2 fleets. Yeah, that's it, Daniel. It gets you to Kyber. And then you struggle with both problems, right? I mean, you have to have an account that's both wide enough and high enough to climb through Kyber. So you need some meta teams like the Revens because what'll happen is if you have 2 GLs and 1 meta fleet, let's say you fight another account that's the same, there's a lot of people that built their account for 5 years and they just don't really like building Galactic Legends. They don't like those big long journeys. So they've got two Galactic Legends, but they've got everything else. So even if you had 3 GLs, you still wouldn't beat them because they still got 2 Revan teams and a Star Killer team and just all the other stuff that's not Galactic Legends, even if they don't have all the GLs. So you kind of have to, let's say Kyber 4 is 2 GLs and then, 2 more good teams to compete for Kyber 3, another Galactic Legend, and a couple more good teams to be in Kyber 2. And then if you want to be in Kyber 1, I was at the top of Kyber 2, and I was, bumping in and out of Kyber 1 on my main account when I stopped playing it. And that had 4 GLs and, just one of the mega fleets at the time. But that's every time I got pushed up into Kyber 1, the next week was rough. 6 GLs all the time, fighting 4 against 6 all the time, and still winning half the time. But yeah, so I know you can get to Kyber 1 with 4 GLs, but the income doesn't change that much, right? So once you make it to Kyber, there's a pretty good jump getting into Kyber and getting these 200 crystals a day. But then once you get to the 200 crystals a day, this is 220, 240, and all the way up in Kyber 1 is only 260. So, touching the ring and getting the 200, because in Rhodium you only get like 170. So if you're down here, that extra 40 is what, 25% more income for making it across the line into Kyber. So that's a pretty big deal, in my opinion. You can always resave your roster, says Pat Can. Yeah, you could never resave your roster. I mean, that's been in place for, I don't know, what's the resave's been there for about 6 months now, I guess. Something like that. Yep. As soon as you make a change, the resave is available. Nice. Love the prestige, didn't you? The second reason why Padme does well in PvE is the damage from courage, since all enemy have crazy high hit points. That's also true. Because Well, I mean, a lot of that stuff also, at some point a lot of characters get immune to the courage, but yeah, Padme's courage stacks when they have like 320,000 hit points, hits pretty hard. Yeah, no, that's true. I hadn't thought of that in my assessment of the Padme team, but that is a big positive. What do you suggest going for after SLKR? If you don't have Executor, SLKR into Executor is quite nice. If you have Executor and SLKR, I really like Galactic Legend Rey. For an early account, I love Rey. I like her still. I think she adds a lot to an account. She's fantastic in Conquest. I'm a Rey fan. I'm a Galactic Legend Rey mark. Like, I like her a lot more than most people do. But for an early game account, I think that's fantastic. Do SLKR, Executor, and Rey. And then, like I said, 2 GLs and a Mega Fleet, and do whatever you want from there. Building Rey, I wouldn't build the Radis fleet, though. Like on my main account, I bought the Radis to 5 stars with crystals, and I never even qualified for the event. I think to this day I don't qualify for the event. I didn't really want the fleet. I just bought the fleet and made Rey. You just need more teams now, says Daniel. Working on finishing CLS, Imperial Troopers, Profundity requirements, Mauls, Mandos, and Savage. The rework helped me get a lot of characters to have decent gear levels. Yeah. I'm looking forward to having more Gear 12s. I think the upshot of the gear changes, when I'm buying stuff out of the shop now, it feels good. And, I'll be looking forward to getting, like, Padme Gear 12. All the stuff on this Obticeo account is stuck at, like, Gear 11. But just because that Gear 12 level, man, I just don't want to commit. Only want to commit to stuff that I'm actually building relics for. But there's a whole field of stuff down here. Getting the Geos actually to Gear 12 would be nice. Get these troopers to Gear 12. Padme to Gear 12. Mace. Just going from Gear 11 to Gear 12 is a nice bump. It's a nice step in the character's power level. So yeah, I will definitely look forward to being able to have more Gear 12s. Enfys Nest Gear 12. It won't be like the Nest that I love so much, but Gear 12 Nest can still solo a lot of teams that are also Gear 12, some relic teams. So I'll still build Nest. Still build Nest to Gear 12 now. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the how the gear changes accelerate this middle part of the account building. It'll be nice. Yep. I have Light Revan, Padme, and CLS. Not Relic Padme or CLS, though. I thought about going DR into Malak. If you have Revans, Padme, and CLS, either just decide to commit to the CLS team and make that, or definitely go for the Revans into Malak. 2 Revans and Malak is just really good. I'm thinking about Starkiller after SLKR. Thoughts? Starkiller is good if you like Grand Arena. Starkiller is good if you like Grand Arena. The problem with Starkiller for, let's say, an early game account is the lack of pilots. So you get Dash Rendar, who's a pilot, if you want the Profundity. You get Kyle Katarn that's got a ship. But those ships are kind of on their own, But Starkiller himself doesn't get you fleet. There's just a lot of stuff in that team that I guess Palpatine technically is part of the shuttle too, so that's, I guess, okay. But yeah, so Starkiller's really, he shines in PvP, so Territory Wars and Grand Arena. I haven't used him in Conquest myself. I imagine he's okay in Conquest. Maybe somebody's got some experience with Starkiller in Conquest. I don't know if he performs like a GL level team in Conquest or not. The team hits hard it really can like get on a roll and just Mara Jade with the Emperor again. If it gets on top of you, it's just over. So yeah, it's definitely a good team. It's definitely on that level of Gas and Malik, and probably not as good as not as good as Malgus with Revan, I would say, but pretty good. Is SLK worth taking to R8? Yes. SLKR is definitely worth taking to Relic 8. His whole gimmick is scaling damage, and going from Relic 7 to 8 gives you a ton of offense. So it gives you like 12% more offense, which means you ramp off of 12% more base stats, and it's a huge bump to his damage. Yep. Really a big deal taking him to Relic 8. Relic 9, not so much. I say Starkiller's fantastic because it's fast and the requirements help. Starkiller is not fast, right? Because if you're going to build Starkiller, then you also have to build Visas Mar and Juhani and, get Palpatine up to relics if you don't have him up to relics already. So it's not just the 4 characters that you have to build for Starkiller. You also have 3 more that you have to farm and build for the Starkiller team itself. So yeah, just don't leave that on the table. Build the whole Starkiller team. And Juhani with her Omicron and Territory Wars is just dumb. So you really wanna build her as your 5th for that team, I think. Actually, how early you game arc, that could be a lie. Talon improves Malgus. Kyle improves Mon Mothma. Dash helps Scoundrels. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good journey. It's a good journey. At 3.1 million, unlocking SLKR, thinking about what to go for next. Well, Executor. I mean, I don't remember if maybe I missed it, but if you already have Executor, what about going for Starkiller between SLKR and Rey? Yeah, Starkiller's fine. If you like GAC, Starkiller's great. It's really a nice journey. And if you've got a Galactic Legend and a big fleet and you want to build like Starkiller in between, but getting your second Galactic Legend is a big deal. I'm telling you guys, the difference between 1 GL and 2 GLs is huge. It's huge. Being able to put 1 on defense and carry 1 on offense, or alternately, if your opponent puts down a real big defense, put both of your GLs on defense, punish them for not bringing any offense, and then work your way through one of their zones and beat them on banners. So what you can do with 2 GLs is just so much different in GAC. It's a huge difference. Huge. Against a lot of opponents, though, if you had a GL and a Starkiller team, it would be roughly the equivalent of having 2 GLs. Because there's a lot of players that probably can't beat that Starkiller team anyway. So, yeah. Yeah, it's not bad. You got AdRad to Relic 8. Did you buy all 20 with crystals? So, over a long period of time, I've been purchasing the Relic 8 materials. And I purchased 50. I purchased 50 of these. So I purchased 50 and I got some from a few Rancor events, right? So we've gotten a few from Rancor events. You need a total of 60 of these because you have to do 1 Relic 8 and 1 Relic 9. So we already did Cassian to Relic 8 and burned up 20 of them. And now we have to burn up 40 of them going to Relic 9. So, yeah, but I bought 50 of them. So I made 10 purchases. And then I bought these 4 times. So I made a total of 14 purchases over the course of 20 weeks. I think it's 20 weeks that it has that I've been on the Profundity journey. Something like that. So almost 1 purchase a week, but I just saved up crystals and bought one purchase of something out of the shipments each week. And we're doing the Rancor raid now, so even though I bought what I needed, we've gotten more. We've gotten more since. So we've got that raid. The guild is actually able to do the raid now, so that's good. So I think I got like 3 of them from an event or something like that, and then got another 28 of them through, or maybe 21. I don't know, something like that. But I purchased 50 of them, so I made 10 purchases. No, the droid brains. Yeah, no, we purchased the droid brains. We made 4 purchases of droid brains at 5 each. So we bought the droid brains. Yep. And that's with spending full energy refreshes each day? No, Ray. If you look back at my Obticeo account updates, while I was doing those purchases, I cut back to 2 mod refreshes a day, and sometimes I was only doing 1 or 2 fleet refreshes a day. So I could do about 3 to 5 Cantina refreshes per week, and 2 mod refreshes, 3 regular energy, and then 1 or 2 on fleet. So I was definitely cut back on what I could do, but I made 2 and 3 week relic. Again, it took me, like I said, I believe it's going to be 20 weeks to relic 7 characters, which is a pretty bad rate for me. I usually relic 1 every 2 weeks. So the timing, the slowdown, the 3-week cycles that I've had are because those refresh rates were cut back, saving up the crystals. And I did end up buying crystals, guys. I think I told you that I accidentally slipped up on a purchase and spent like 1,600 crystals on character shards by accident or something like that. So I did end up not getting those crystals refunded to me, and I bought crystals back. So cheated a little bit for my own stupidity, but yeah, so so I did buy those crystals to make up for my error. Yep. But yeah, we've been running at almost 0 crystals. Every time I get extra crystals, I just dump them in the cantina right now, trying to keep caught up on signal data. Zortar says, I feel so betrayed now, DL. Oh, why do you feel betrayed? I'm really struggling on my free-to-play to get Profundity. Just can't save the crystals. Yeah, saving the crystals, it requires... So, I mean, it requires a lot, right? So, if I couldn't get top 10 in fleet every day, the difference there is between 200 crystals and 100 crystals, right? So just getting from top 20 to top 10, 700 crystals a week. Whenever I've talked to people who are like, well, I can't follow your progress. I can't keep up. I can't save crystals. All the stuff they can't do. And 9 times out of 10, it comes down to this right here. Well, what are you placing in fleet? Well, I can get like 16th place in fleet. Well, okay, the difference between 16th and top 10 is double. That 100 crystals, 700 crystals a week, that's the difference between, saving up 1,200 crystals. You either have to save 1,200, here is really hard, but then here, 700 of it is just in the payout. So that, I cannot tell you guys enough how this fleet placement, this is where it's at. Top 5 in fleet is where it's at. 300 to 400 crystals every day. Gotta have it. Vels said, bought gear to 2. Oh. Had to cut back on a lot of refreshes for my free-to-play Profundity journey to make the purchases. Only in high bronzium and placing top 5 50% of the time. Interesting. Yeah, if you have to buy the gear to keypads, oof. The exchange rate on those is just awful. Just awful. So these, what I will do is I will continue to farm this part. So I can farm about 100 of these in a week. Just kind of whenever I do my relic estimations, if I need like 140 of these parts, I know that a 2-week cycle is good. If I need like 220 of these parts, I can probably get it in 2 weeks. If I need like 3 sets of these, you know, all of the same part with the stun cuffs, then it's going to be a 3-week cycle. So if I can pull down 100 of these a week, you know, that'll get me the last 5 keypads. But I've converted almost all of, you know, whatever this is. It doesn't get used as much. I think it gets used in the finisher part, right? So I think it's used, yeah, here. So I've been able to stock those up and convert quite a lot of those to the keypads. But I've gotten 15 of them. I mean, to be fair, I've stocked up 15 in 11 months. So if I needed to do another Relic 9, I would really have to struggle to get that. So what you can also do, oh, Conquest is closed. But even if you don't need those parts, you can still buy them out of the Conquest Wandering Scavenger and just use them for garbage. Scrap them. You only need 3 Cantina refreshes for the relic materials, though. I've not refreshed mods for months. What's your daily crystal income, DL? I mean, I don't know. It's whatever it is. We get 115 here, 200 out of fleet, and then 100, what is it, like 50 from quests or something like that. So probably 400 crystals a day, something like that, and then GAC on top of that. And I do pretty well in GAC. I mean, I get a good amount of wins in GAC, so I always pull down some kind of decent rewards over there. And honestly, the fact that I get my GAC payout is what saved me, because I knew that, you know, I could get up around 1,000 crystals, get my GAC payout. That would put me over the top, and I could make my purchase for the week and go from there. So I always relied on that GAC payout as like the final, you know, what was going to give me the crystals to make that purchase, for better or worse. Do you buy Gear 12 Plus items from the Shard Shop? The pieces for $7.20? No, I don't. So in the shop, what we buy in the Shard Shop, this is our new favorite square right here. The temptation to just buy this, I've still got 300 of these, but man, you know, just click that. I buy this row, right? The stuff here, I just almost auto buy that. And then now with the gear changes, all of the stuff down here is also going to be definitely worth. Like I said, I got 100 of them. I'm not going to worry too much about it. But like this, I'm 29 of them. I'm going to buy that. So that's what I'm doing right now. I buy these 360 parts. But all this stuff, I farm. I just farm that. So if you look at my gear plan, I mean, it shows it every week. But what we're doing here, oops. get around to the front. So you'll see in Fleet that I only have like 2 hard nodes that I farm. And that's the balance that I found. As long as I'm only farming 2 hard nodes, then the extra energy that you get throughout the day, when you get your free energy for the day, if you pick that up like you're supposed to, all of that stuff just goes to farming that Gear 13 material. I just farm those Gear 13 golds, and that is literally it. So, like, I'm farming furnaces for Dash Rendar. I will farm Mando, I'll farm B1, and then every other fleet energy until my next reset is just farming that furnace. That's it. That is it. If you ever find yourself farming, like the only purple part that I ever have to farm, and I don't know if anybody else finds this to be true, actually, this might change now too. A little bit. I run out of the med packs. I can never keep up with the med packs because they're used in the left side gear as well as the right side gear. They're used a lot. I always use these med packs. But now that the value is doubled over here, I'm thinking that I might start picking up some med packs when they show up over here in Guild. Because, I mean, this is a good deal. 800 for 10 of these parts. That's valuable, right? That's progress. So if the med pack's the only thing that's holding me back, I may be willing to make purchases over here now. But I do. There have been occasions in the past where I've had to farm like, the last 6 med packs because I just couldn't get them out of the shop in time to make the relic. But that's the only time I'm using that fleet energy for anything, and that's still a right side relic material. It's just the purple one instead of the gold one. I've been running out of the syringes lately. Yeah. Wait, are you doing Hoth TB? It looks like we are. Looks like the Obticeo Guild has decided to do Hoth. I think a lot of people are in this position with Rolo, where they're literally like on their last group of shards to get Rolo. So I just got her to 7 stars. But I think a lot of our... Wait, what? Is this Dark Side Hoth? This is Dark Side Hoth. Ew. Okay. I don't know the reason. Misclick? I don't know if it's a misclick or if we're doing Hoth for a reason. I thought it was Rolo, but never mind. That's Dark Side Hoth. Hee hee. Lol. There's probably a reason for it. Or it's a misclick, one or the other. Guess we're doing Dark Side Hoth. The Imperial Probe Droid. I guess. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they just wanted to avoid the madness of the new TB the first time. Probe Droid's going to be the new meta. Yeah. I'm buying the Probe Droid on the Loquitur account because I'm actually okay-ish on Cairo for right now. And, I don't know. I see that Probe Droid, where you need to put the Probe Droid into the battalion or whatever. And I feel guilty for never making a Probe Droid. So I'm buying little bits and pieces of it over time. We'll eventually get the Probe Droid for Get 2 on Loquitur. Yeah. Alrighty, guys. For the achievement, the 48-star achievement. Maybe that's what we're doing. I don't know what the 48-star achievement is. Is it a title or something? I don't know. Whatever. Alrighty, guys. I'm going to hang it up there for the night. We have upgraded the account. Got really good progress on the CLS team. Really happy with that. Next week, I think we'll, potentially be able to get the last characters in that CLS team, get that Chewbacca and hopefully the 3PO to gear 12. That team will be looking pretty good. And then we can start working on the Ewoks and stuff like that in the background. Start building them up. Start working on our insta-kill team. Yeah, we've got plenty of stuff that we can work on for these mid-levels. Build a better version of our Inquisitors team for ourselves. We've got a really weak Stark. We can put a couple more gear. Oh man, there's just so much stuff that I'm going to be glad to be able to take through gear 11 and gear 12. Yep. Get that Thrawn worked up for this Mara Jade team. Exciting stuff. Exciting stuff the weeks to come. All right, hit that like button on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in. I would appreciate that. Do the subscribe thing. Do the join Discord thing. The link to the Discord is in the description of the holocron down below. Click that. Join us. Really good Discord community. Lots of discussions, sharing, talking. And there's an Ask Loquitur channel over there, so if you just want to ask a question directly for me, you can just put it up there and I'll answer it. Alrighty guys, thank you all for watching. Appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you in the next holocron.